This is something beyond beer. Hey friends, tonight we're talking about indoor camping with your kids, and we're trying a triple IPA that's been barrel aged. It's beer after bedtime. Let's get to it. Hey friends, welcome to Beer After Bedtime. My name is Tom and I am so glad to be back. What with having two kids starting in on school and trying to go on vacation before the summer ends and throwing out my back, it's just been absolutely crazy, but I'm happy to be back here with you and happy to be trying this bad boy. Let's meet the beer. So this, I'll let you get a good look at that, is a very tall can. It is a triple IPA, which we've had before on the show, up there, possibly up there, I never get that right. But there's a twist on this, and that's the reason that I managed to purchase a $10 can that is ridiculously tall. This triple IPA has been aged in bourbon barrels, which is something you usually see done with a stout, not particularly with a triple IPA, but as such, it is added to a very high ABV. In fact, let's just go ahead and put all the details here. Warm and hoppy with a punch of sweet bourbon. Never heard of a bourbon barrel-aged IPA? Neither had we until we brewed one. This boozy triple IPA is packed with Centennial hops and was aged in bourbon barrels for over a year. Drink responsibly. It is dark, like you would expect a barrel-aged something to be, but because it's an IPA, it's lighter, it's very thick to see through. This is uncharted territory for me here, so we're just gonna dive straight in. There's no head, like at all. There's nothing. Okay, I get some bubbles through there. Oh, that is rich. That is like brown sugar and booze and bourbon. They are all three in there. It is a sea of bees. I've missed you. Cheers. Oh, it burns the nose. That's unexpected. Okay. Right off the bat, very boozy. This should not be a surprise, but very bourbony. It's not very fizzy. There's not a lot of punch or tang to it. It's odd. Like my nose is just full of bourbon. Bourbon seltzer a thing? Seltzer? I don't know, but if it is, that's what I'm getting so far. Bourbon seltzer. This feels like a very good bourbon cocktail. I know you wouldn't go to a bar and order beer and bourbon, or you would, but it would be beer and bourbon right next to each other. This feels like you just went and then started drinking your triple IPA. Holy moly, that is strong. That is gonna take some work. I'm gonna work on that, and let's do some dad chat. Hey, dad chat. So, I like camping a lot. I own more tents than I have fingers on one hand. And we managed to get the kids out into the backyard camping this summer once. Just the once, but we made a whole big deal of it. I mean, I'll see if I can put some pictures up here without giving too much away, but check that out and that out if I did. We did the whole shebang, you know, the fire pit, the s'mores, the tent, and it's in the backyard, and it's a smallish backyard. But, you know, we really went all out, picked the biggest tent that we own, took all day to set it up, had a little camp out. The kids had a really good time, but they have been enamored with the idea of camping for the last couple of years, and I talk about it a lot. So we wanted to be able to, as the seasons change and we don't really have time to do a full-on outdoor thing, bring some elements of the camp out inside. And this wasn't really too possible beyond just putting out some little sleeping bags for them. They got some nice cute down sleeping bags. One's a rocket ship and the other is a mermaid tail, so that's pretty cool. They needed something else, and we'd put a tent in the living room before, like a full-on backpacking style tent. That was just too much. With the poles going out into the kitchen to try and put the whole thing together, it was getting pretty crazy. Then my sister-in-law hooked us up with a, for better terms, a pop-up tent or an instant tent. I don't know if you've seen these things, but they're pretty sweet. They remind me a lot of sunshades that are supposed to like fold up into a circle, and you can like flop them out, stick it in there. Apply that whole concept to an entire tent, and you've got the right idea. It's about yay big around, my arm hoop around, and you pull it out of its bag, and you, when you're outside, flop it into the air, and it just goes phoom, and it's a short person's two-man tent. Which works out pretty well because I have two short people in my life. So I found a way to get it to fit in the living room, which you don't want to throw it up in the air, but you just unfold it, set it up in the living room. Here's a picture of what that looks like in our living room. It's pretty tight, but as you can see, it works. I tried it just the other day because they wanted to set up a fort, and I wasn't really in the mood to tear our entire couch apart. So I went with the, oh, hey, let's try the pop-up tent. It worked brilliantly. It was the best. My son and daughter played in the tent the whole time. While I certainly advocate them spreading their architectural wings and building stuff that way, it was really nice to just have it set up, know it's not going to collapse every 2 minutes, and they can just play in it and have fun. A couple other interesting things I've sort of done to enhance that experience for them is I've taken an old tablet and you just pull up YouTube. You pull up 8 hours of crackling fire, load that thing in, let it play, set a couple of pillows around it, and you've got an instant, magically wonderful campfire. I'm particularly proud of that thing because it's a lot of fun. So I've done the indoor fire, the indoor tent thing, and it's really amazing. And I hope that they're able to transition that into a love of the outdoors, because that's really what I want to instill in my kids. When I grew up, we moved to an area that had a whole lot of wooded sections around here, and I really felt that as part of my development. That's something I really want to pass on to the kids. So I'm really hoping that they'll take the indoor camping outside someday. But until they do, it's pretty nice because I don't have to go sleep out in the backyard. I can pitch the tent in the living room, and all right, so our TV time and stuff like that is done in the bedroom on laptops, and the kids can still have a little camp out. It's awesome, it's fun. I hope you give it a try, and I hope that helps. Cheers. Gold Star achievements. Whew. I got my kids to eat vegetables. And there wasn't any real trick to it either. It was crazy. I got a bag of steamed mixed vegetables and steamed them so they're nice and soft and juicy and such. Put a bunch of whatever soy butter it is we're using this week in there, mixed it up with some salt, put it on the plates, and I crossed my fingers because my son, at the very least, has become very, very picky. And it's really hard to get him into any kind of vegetable or get the vegetable into him. And today he went for it. He didn't eat everything on it, but he picked out the carrots and the corn and stuff like that, which is about 50% of what I put on there. And he ate it. It was wonderful. My daughter went to town, left everything but the green beans, which I was happy to nobble up. But yes, the kid ate a vegetable. Gold star for me. But what are your gold star achievements? As you can tell, it doesn't have to be anything monumental, but I want to hear about them. Parenting is hard work, you guys. We deserve to celebrate together, so put them in the comments below. I'll send you a digital high five. Cheers. Back to the beer. Okay, what do I think of Rooftop Brewing's triple IPA that has been bourbon barrel aged? They didn't call it anything, just special release barrel aged triple India Pale Ale, which is a mouthful. I don't like it. I'm sorry. It's a huge can and it's awesome sounding. I love the idea of barrel aging stuff that isn't just stouts and porters. This is too much, unfortunately, for me. If you like bourbon, and I do, so you probably need to like bourbon more than I do, then maybe this is for you. For me, I am trying to figure out what to do to make this more palatable for myself. I've considered pouring local lager into the top of this and see if I can like smooth it out. I might pour some of this into a different pint of something, but it's too much. Way too boozy. So it's not hiding anything at, what is it, 12.8%. So I'm going to grab my swing top bottle. I'm going to pour this stuff in there and hopefully I can find a way to make good use of it. I don't know, tell me what you think. Are you looking for something that is extra bourbony and extra boozy? If you are, hit up Rooftop. I want to try some other stuff from them because my friend has spoken very highly of this little Queen Anne brewery. And this being my first example, I, of course, swing for the fences. And in this case, it's a miss for me. All right, folks, thanks for joining me. My name is Tom. This has been Beer After Bedtime. And until next time, finish your beer, get some sleep. Cheers. Hey friends, thanks for watching that video. Please subscribe here, like down below, and enjoy more videos from me here and here. Good night. Maybe if I put it in a bourbon glass.